Oh boy. It's like they think their videos are better than they are, honestly. And they
Jimmy,
I mean, they do. And we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just like hyper study, like what makes a good video, what makes a good thumbnail, what for $5,000 for a video. Well, this is when I was like 19. I was like, double it. And I'll walk outside, I'll give it to a homeless person. And they're like, no, you won't. And I was like, double it. And I was like pacing around my neighborhood for 3 hours convincing this guy, like on the phone, just double the money. I promise the video will go viral and I'll give it to homeless person. I was like, $10,000 just looks better in a title. It'll get more views. I promise your app will do better.
At the very beginning of the video, to minimize drop-off, you want to assure them that those expectations are being met. If you're putting 1 million Orbeez in a pool, don't start the video with you shopping for, your mom's birthday present. At the beginning of the video, just say, this is 100 million Orbeez. We're gonna fill this pool and this entire backyard with them. Match the expectations, and then you want to exceed them. So you want to assure people that what they clicked on is what they're getting, and then blow their mind and be like, but you're also getting even more. Anytime you say the word algorithm, just replace it with audience. The algorithm didn't like that video? No, the audience didn't like that video. If I wasn't retaining a viewer, just would it make sense for you to promote it? Why would you promote a 10-minute video that people watch on average 1.5 minutes?
I mean, every video, even the stupid ones, I learned something. And that's something I try to make a very big point of, is like, no matter how bad we mess up, like we sometimes have videos that have horrible retention. It's just like, as long as you learn from it, it's not the end of the world. Every YouTuber says it. It's like, no one will ever be able to replicate my style. I gotta edit it. But newsflash, someone can. It's actually not as difficult as you think. It was good that I got a really strong foundation on how YouTube works and how the style of videos I wanted and everything before I scaled up the team, if that makes any sense. I just want to make sure that's clear, because I've seen people try to build the team without foundation and knowing how to do well. I know that if we film this video, it will do well, just because I've spent a decade of my life hyper obsessing over YouTube and I have a good pulse on it. But if you didn't have that, then you wouldn't know. Like, you wouldn't be able to spend $4 million on a Squid Game, because you might lose $2 million and then you can't pay your people. But of course, yeah, if I didn't have these people, I couldn't do half the stuff I do. For the last like 8 or 9 years, like every dollar I've made, I just spent it the next month on content. And I just did that every single month, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and here we are. Since I was 13, there probably hasn't been a single hour that's gone by that I've been awake where I haven't thought about YouTube. Like, I'm just focused on making the best videos possible, period. I don't care about making money. I don't care about time. I don't care about anything. I just want to make the best videos on the planet. Literally all the algorithm does is reflect what the people want to a T. And if you deny that, you just make terrible videos and are trying to find a scapegoat. To me, what's important is click-through rate, getting people to click on your video, and then average view duration, average view percentage, or just relative retention, and having them watch it. A lot of creators think click-through rate is just like the title and thumbnail and did they click it, but a lot of it too is, did they enjoy your last video? Because if someone watches a video of yours and they loved it, you can bet the next time you're recommended, their chance of clicking is a lot higher. Sometimes we're filming for 3 or 4 days, like 10 hours a day, 30, 40 hours of filming plus months of setup, whereas most creators probably film for a couple hours and set up for a day. Outside of just filming, we brainstorm video ideas, relentlessly, hours every day. By always doing all those things, it just distinctively sets it so far apart that it's basically, in my head, it's like, why would you not watch it?
And so with filming, it's just like trying to make sure we're doing everything we can, no matter how expensive it is, no matter how much time it takes, to make the best video possible. A lot of people, if they gave away $100,000, they would make a huge deal about it. But we're, sometimes they're just like, yeah, here's $100,000. Like, thanks for watching, bye. Doing it that way makes it more fun and just more interesting. So I like to keep a little bit of it mysterious, because I think that's what people enjoy. A lot of people aren't willing to put in 10 hours days because they don't like what they're doing. So it's finding what they enjoy, because it is like a long grind.
I just had the blessing of finding what I loved at a young age. So like, because to get to this level, it takes, you know, a decade. Most people don't find what they love till their young 20s. So they'd be where I'm at in their 30s. Yeah. I just lucked out and found it when I was really young. Living your life chasing like a nicer car and a bigger and bigger box to live in is kind of like a dumb way to go about life. I actually, funny enough, I lived in like a super below average home. And I kind of learned why famous people don't live in below average homes, because someone broke in, stole everything I owned. So I had to get a little nicer house for security reasons. But before I was robbed, I mean, like, my place is like a little duplex, $700 a month. You get a roommate, it's $360 split. People think just because you go for views means you can't have fun, but you can pull views and you can have fun, which is what we purposely try to do.
If you're not doing something that's just inherently fun to you, you're just quit. Just give up. Like, you gotta at least semi-enjoy what you're doing, or you're gonna quit long before it gets to the point where it brings in money or whatever else could be driving you. So find what you love, and then I would just hyper obsess. Make sure no one doing what you're doing is doing it better. Make sure the videos are as good as possible.
You can be motivated by more than one thing. I'm motivated because I want to support my mom and my family. I'm motivated because I want to employ my friends and help them. I'm motivated because I want to help other people. I'm motivated because I want to be a YouTuber. I feel like that's another misconception. You can have lots of things that drive you. You know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I mean, like, there's just tons of stuff that drive me, and everything drives me to wanting to be a YouTuber. So I kind of obsess over it.
For the people that are willing to be coachable, I would say, like, just education. Like, there is a lot of misinformation out there that, like, people, like, live and breathe by. Like, the weirdest stuff. I gotta upload at midnight on Wednesdays or my videos don't do well. It's like, it's just dumb stuff like that just, they don't realize how badly they're, like, handicapping themselves.
Some minor tips I could give is, like, if somehow you could have a payoff at the end, then more people are gonna watch the end just to see what happens. See, that's the effect you want. Most people, when they watch, for the YouTubers watching this, when people watch your video, they go, okay, that was good, but like, that's enough of you for the day. Like, it was all right? Whereas what you want is them to go, holy crap, that was crazy. Oh my God, what's that? Holy crap, that was crazy. Oh my God. And they watch 10 videos, not one, and then need like a week break because it was so that they have to recharge. You know what I mean? That's what you're going for. That data can't describe. And like, I've never heard anyone talk about that, but that is it. That's how you get these high view counts, because people watch 10 videos, not one, you know? Videos, they film in under 20 minutes and they don't really put any effort into it. And my first 500 videos didn't deserve to get 1 million views. Like, there's a reason they didn't. They're terrible, you know what I mean? But at the time I thought they did, right? And I'm in the mindset of a lot of small YouTubers where I thought those videos deserved 1 million views and I thought the algorithm hated me. But I watch them back now and I can tell you exactly why. The videos were just fucking horrible. You know what I mean? Yeah. And like the thing people undervalue the most is literally the first 10 seconds of the video. Like, yeah. I think I can quote it. I tied up an FBI agent and I have $100,000 in this bag. Here's a knife. Good luck. And I just run away. Yeah. Like, it gives you everything you need. Yeah. No wasted words, short and concise, and then tension. To do well on YouTube, you just need people to click your videos and watch them. That's literally all YouTube wants. And so if you get people to click your video 10% more and watch your video 10% longer than mine, you don't get 10% more views. You get like 4 times the views, right? So you have to think like an exponential, right? Like, a 10% better video is 4 times the views, not 10% more views. Right. And so like, once you understand that and you like funnel your energy better, it makes a big difference.
How much time do you spend on those openings?
I'm a perfectionist. It's so important. Like, that's your first impression for everyone clicking on the video. So like, I like the whole time leading up to that, I'm just constantly obsessed with mostly the first minute, just like making sure, like, if I were to click on this video, I would like the first minute and that it would hook me. You know what I mean? And when I first started, I got 100,000 subscribers with an iPhone. And this is an iPhone 5 that recorded in 30 FPS, terrible quality. So as you guys know, like, equipment's never an excuse, because like, people were constantly roasting me for the quality when I first blew up. I was like, I don't have money. I don't know what to do. But then, you know, I just reinvested every dollar I made, and over like the last, 8 years, just slowly grew into whatever I do now.
Well, so what was the breakthrough for you to start realizing, to start having a self-awareness, about these videos aren't good enough? You're probably still going through that. You're probably still growing to see. Like,
yeah, every 6 months you should look back and hate your videos, or at least see things you could improve and be like, oh, I could have done this better, that better. If not, then you're not learning quick enough, in my opinion, at least.
But so when you're doing these videos and do you ever have one that you do it and it just doesn't live up to what your expectations were?
All the time. Now I know you're about to ask me, so let me think of some. Yeah, probably like back in the day, like 1 out of every 4 videos we filmed just never got uploaded because they were just not good. Yeah, because especially when I was like 19 and 20, like I had no idea, right? You know, like I'd come up with an idea, let's climb a building with plungers, right?
Right.
And then, you know, you can't do it, all right? So
Right.
that's an example of one that failed.
It's just like if you wake up and every day you obsess over something and you live and breathe it, and that's what you think about, that's what you do, that's what you study on and off, that's what you stay up every night grinding.
When I was a young teenager, I was getting no views, had no money, had no equipment. And so for the most part, it was just like, I was just trying to scrounge money so I could buy equipment because I was using my brother's old laptop. And so like my first couple hundred videos, I didn't have a microphone. Like imagine just like crackly, terrible voice. And so once I got monetized, I saved up for a few months. Like I told you, I bought a microphone. I can just give you a mile high history. And I saved up for like 6 months. I mean, I was just doing video game videos and they were terrible. But I saved up, I got a real computer. So now I could actually record the video game in high quality. I have a microphone, I'm like 15, and I just kept going and going. YouTube's trying to serve people the best content possible, right? They don't want to serve you 100 lame videos, they just want to serve you one good one. So it makes sense logically. Like, he's always had great thumbnails, but he wasn't the best at making good videos, which is, those are the easiest people to mentor. They can get people to click, but they can't get people to stick around. So then, I've obsessed over how to make good videos. So now I just teach them how to make a video good, and then boom, the channel just goes skyrocket.
But how do you have time to mentor people with all the things on your plate?
I find it fun. For me, it's kind of like therapeutic to go on a walk, call someone, and then just roast their channel.
Is that what you do? You roast their channel?
Well, like not meanly, but it's just like, yeah, like
just honestly.
Yeah, I'm like, I can tell you were a little lazy here. Like you could have put a little bit more effort. The hook was a little weak. Like, you know, like
wow.
why didn't you do this or the payoff or whatever? The biggest thing is obviously a clickable thumbnail and title, interesting stuff, yada yada. But is it something that people will genuinely want to watch? And this might be a little tangent, but one thing is a lot of creators think click-through rate is just like the title and thumbnail and did they click it, but a lot of it too is did they enjoy your last video? You know what I mean? Like, because if someone watches a video of yours and they loved it, you can bet the next time you're recommended, their chance of clicking is a lot higher, you know? So it's like, is it something that can be entertaining for a long time? Is it something that if they watch this next time, you know, they see a video of mine, will they be excited? Like, I loved that last one, so I want to watch the next one. Like those two type of things. And then obviously, you know, is it just interesting and clickable? Essentially, your title and thumbnail set expectations. And at the very beginning of the video, to minimize drop-off, you want to assure them that those expectations are being met. If you click on a video where, you know, of his, where it's like, Tether is a scam, and then at the very beginning he starts talking about literally anything else, then you are like, oh, this is bull. This isn't what I clicked on. But if at the very start of the video you go, Tether is a scam, and I'm going to teach you why, then it's like, okay, you match the expectations. So at the very beginning, match the expectations, and then you want to exceed them. So you want to assure people that what they clicked on is what they're getting, and then blow their mind and be like, but you're also getting even more. That's how you lower drop-off, which a lot of people, sometimes it takes them like 20 seconds to really meet the expectations, and so you lose, like, that's where you're going to lose everyone. Everyone's videos start like this, and then it levels off. So you want to reduce the amount of people that click off on the audience retention graph. I hope you're popping up graphs while I'm saying this, so it's easier for people to visualize. But so then once you get it to level off, it's just how do you keep it level until the end of the video, and that's where you want to have, you basically want to remove every dull moment. You probably want to find the 10 most critical people you know, make them watch the video and just roast it. You basically pay people to watch the videos on frame and then just have them record it. And I love just seeing like when they pick up their phones and when they get bored and like, you know, certain things, like if I just talk to a camera for 10 seconds without a cut, like a lot of people will just like get bored or they'll lose interest. So like having a B cam and a C cam, and just, you can just talk for 10 seconds, but 3 seconds in cutting to a B cam and then a C cam, like now it's more interesting, even though it's essentially the same thing and not that crazy. But you want to have good pacing. Typically having a payoff at the end keeps them, right? Last leave circle wins 10 grand. If there is a low moment halfway through, you're going to watch to the end because you want to see who wins the 10 grand. So having a good payoff at the end.
How many hours do you work in a day?
I would say since I was 11 years old, almost every waking hour of the day, I'm thinking of YouTube in some form or capacity. I feel like it was almost like baked in my DNA. Like it just flows in my blood. The innate urge to create videos and to build a YouTube channel and build businesses. That's just what I do. And if I like try to take time off, I just get depressed and I feel like I lose my sanity.
That was the biggest problem, is I thought it was a freak of nature, because like people would tell me all you do is talk about YouTube, you're too obsessed with YouTube, like get a life. Like from 13 to like 19, I never met anyone who cared about YouTube. I was so untalkative. People thought like there was problems with me because I just wouldn't talk to anyone. Because all I would do is talk about YouTube. And after a while, like you realize like no one cares. And then when I was 19 and I had like 10,000 subscribers, maybe it was like 18. And that's when I started meeting a few other YouTubers online. And I realized like, I'm not a freak. I'm just like obsessed with YouTube, and that's okay. You know, you just got to find other people that are like that. Me and my team spend like 10 times more time than everyone else brainstorming ideas, which we probably at this point spend 100 times more time than everyone else. We spend $500,000 to $1 million a video, whereas normal people are spending like 1,000 or 10,000 is an expensive video now. And we just, you know, sometimes we're filming for 3 or 4 days, like 10 hours a day, you know, 30, 40 hours of filming plus months of setup, whereas most creators probably film for a couple hours and set up for a day. I think for us, you know, by always doing all those things, it just distinctively sets it so far apart that it's basically, in my head, it's like, why would you not watch it? You know what I mean? But for the average person like us, you know, who don't have these exceptional personalities and, you know, backgrounds in filmmaking, just make 100 videos, improve something each time, and then talk to me on your 101st video.
How do you improve something each time?
The second one, just, I don't know, put more effort into the script. The third one, try to learn a new editing trick. The fourth one, try to figure out a way that you can have better inflections in your voice. The fifth one, try to, you know, study a new thumbnail tip and implement it. The sixth one, try to figure out a new title. There's infinite ways. That's the beauty of content creation online. There's literally infinite ways, from the coloring to the frame rate to the editing to the filming to the production to the jokes to the pacing to every little thing can be improved, and they can never not be improved. There's literally no such thing as a perfect video. And the thing is, like, as long as you're reinvesting everything and you're constantly innovating and adapting, it's pretty hard to fall off if you're like putting in the effort and stuff.
Easy
like
for
that.
you to say, dude. All you do is put in the effort. You're a workhorse. And even when you're not working, like you started taking those like therapeutic late night walks.
Yeah, I call him all the time. And I get like 1 out of 10 times he answers. Like, you can elevate your content by being more creative, spending more money, putting in more effort. And there's like all these different things. And so like one of those just has to be going up, not all of them, each video. And if you do it that way and strategic, it's easy to constantly innovate.
You're extremely diversified.
And the type of content, yeah, exactly, because that's the thing. Like,
well, it's not even just in content, bro. Like, you have so many different businesses.
Yes, let's talk about that shit.
Well, let's say you lose money in a video, you're like, well, MrBeast Burgers is popping off this week.
Again, the thing is, everyone has different priorities. You know, if you want to make a few $100,000 a year and just, you know, coast or whatever, like, you know, not everyone has ambition and stuff like that. But if you really do want to be the best you can possibly be the biggest YouTuber, you should look at hiring as a way to free up your time so you can do more important things, and even that, and hyper optimize every little minute. And anything that isn't work, you should outsource to someone else so you can recharge so you can work again. You know,
if you knew everything you know now, but no money.
Step one would I just brainstorm, like, okay, I don't have money. What are some viral things? Like, I mean, the first thing that comes to my mind is something as simple as when I counted to 100,000, which is what I did do when I was poor. And like that worked. But like, what's something like that I could do that would be even more attention grabbing?
Yeah, you were, as part of the brainstorm, you would throw out a lot of ideas. People throw out a bunch of ideas. And one of the questions is this even doable? Right?
Yeah. First off, come up with ideas you think would do well, and then ask yourself later if they're doable.
Yeah.
Because there's different ways you can accomplish something.
Don't be cynical about the doability of stuff.
Yeah, because there really are so many different ways you have to work on multiple videos at a time, because most of our videos takes months to produce, and I don't just upload 2 or 3 videos a year. So if you're working on like 5 videos at a time, and one of the videos takes up an entire warehouse, and another video takes up an entire warehouse, well, you can't work on the other 3 because 2 warehouses are full. So then that's what led us to getting this big place, because it's so huge we can work on multiple videos here at the same time. That just for you YouTubers that are wondering, like, how do you get to this point? Like, it's usually a slow snowball. If you hang around people, like, just whatever, different people, you're going to feel crazy and it's going to wear on you. Whereas if you're around similar people, it's so much easier. The people they're around 100% dictates the outcome. I would not be on 120 million subscribers if I didn't find, when I was around 1 million, I had a couple of friends that were just also psychopaths. You know, I outgrew them, but at the time it was great. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for them. Just all along the way, the friends that I hung out with had such a dramatic impact on where I am. When I was a teenager, I just, you know, I couldn't relate to many people. I just thought it was like a fucking freak of nature, because no one was obsessed with building businesses or any of this kind of stuff. And so like back then, you know, that advice would have been helpful. Maybe not that particularly, but just knowing that there are, you know, it's not that you're a freak of nature. You just haven't found people that have the same interest.
So the task is not to feel sorry for yourself or somehow change yourself. It's more to
Find people you fit in with. Yeah,
Did you mind at all that feeling of like everyone being like, what are you doing?
of course. I mean, it's weird. I think the problem is like I told this story years ago, it probably would have helped. It's so much more acceptable now. Like,
Yeah.
everyone wants to be a YouTuber. Everyone wants to be a TikToker. Like, growing up now, like, you can just tell by the people and the numbers and explosion of social media that, like, it's a lot more widely accepted. And also, it might also be where I grew up. In North Carolina, it's different than LA. But back then, like, it really just was a strange thing. You know what I mean? To, like, want to dedicate your life to being a YouTuber and being that obsessed.
Basically what I did was I somehow found these other like 4 lunatics. 3 of us were college dropouts, 1 was a high school dropout, and 1, I don't know, he just like quit his job. We all were super small YouTubers, and we basically talked every day for 1,000 days in a row and did nothing but just like hyper study like what makes a good video, what makes a good thumbnail, what's good pacing, like how to go viral. We would just get on Skype every morning, and like some days like I'd get on Skype at 7 a.m. and I'd be in the call until like 10 p.m. and then I'd go to bed, I'd wake up and I'd do it again. We'd do things like take 1,000 thumbnails and see if like there's a correlation to the brightness of the thumbnail to how many views it got.